What is going on, people? It is your boy Svenny-D bringing you some more Battlefield 3. Today we are doing something a little bit different, swaying away from that gameplay and all that good jazz. And I'm going to show you guys my kit class customization setup for not only my kits but my land vehicles and my air vehicles. So let's jump right into this. And there you can see the two dog tags that I'm rocking. I'm rocking the standard dog tag to show what level I'm at, and the one-man army dog tag, which really has no signification of me as a player, because I'm all about being a team player, damn it. And you know, it's kind of contradicting, but it's all good. I'll show you guys my progression really quick, where I'm at for each of these kits. You can see the assault, I'm unlocking the AEK 971. Engineer, we're going for the Russian acquired M4. The support class, I'm going for the M60 E4, and for the Recon, we're going for the SKS, damn it. And for my overall rank, I'll be unlocking the MP443 suppressed handgun. And for the vehicles, for the MBTs, we got the Kokio HMGs. I'm pretty sure that's how they're pronounced, if I'm not mistaken. For the IFV, we're going for the ATGM launcher, mobile AA. The next upgrade will be belt speed. The attack helicopters is going to be the auto uploader. Scout helicopters, belt speed. And for the jets, extinguisher. Jesus. Something that I'm actually looking forward to having in the jets, because I realize that can help a great deal, especially when you get below a certain point on the jet for health. You'll catch fire, and that fire is pretty much going to slowly start to destroy your jet, and there's no way out of it unless you have the extinguisher unlocked. So that's where I'm at with that. Now let's hop into my classes. Now right here you can see this is the kit section of the customization menu. You got the 4 classes right here, and these are the 4 classes that I'm really currently running right now. My favorite class coming into Battlefield 3 was Engineer. That was a class that I always played with on Battlefield 2, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I really got into the support class. Now the support class was more or less a class to heal people. It was kind of your medic class as well. So they definitely made some changes to the kit customization setups on this game. But we'll hop right in. I'll kind of break down what I like to use for each class and why. So for this class, I'm running the KH-2002. Now, before I go to the rest of them, I want to say that this gun is awesome. I love it. I love the burst guns, because, you know, as a medic, you really don't want to go balls deep, you know, balls to the wall, rushing your ass off all the time. You really want to be a big team player as far as kind of running in packs with your teammates. So if they go down, you can get them back up. If you don't play it like that, it kind of voids the whole point of being a medic, I guess you could say. I've been experimenting with different things. I've ran with the heavy barrel for some time. One thing I do want to say is I do not run the tactical light on any of my weapons. The suppressor really wouldn't be a bad idea for this class, especially for the fact being that you're trying to be a team player. If, you know, you're going to be picking up a lot of your teammates or reviving them, it's kind of good that you use a suppressor, because if you're firing off, you don't want the enemy to be able to spot you on their radar, because really when you're going to revive your teammates, you're going to be an open target. So I would definitely recommend the suppressor. The laser sight, just not a fan of it. It's nothing that I really find too useful. You know, I'm using the red dot sight on this as it is, so it can pretty much be pointless to use it. Then we got the flash suppressor, which I still haven't unlocked yet, but I have everything else good to go. I prefer the heavy barrel. It's something I've been running for quite some time, and it does help you with your accuracy, especially with burst weapons and stuff like that. You know, if you're running a burst weapon with a heavy barrel, it's really going to make you a very accurate shot and help you guys that may be, you know, kind of new to first-person shooters and still working on your accuracy and such. Now the bipod is something that I wasn't really running. What I did was I switched to a scope, an actual scope. I don't know if it was this one-time scope. I thought there was another one I had unlocked, but maybe not for this gun. But I was running the scope, and what I did was I kind of stayed back, you know, and the bipod's great for laying prone, or if you kneel down and place it on ledges. That's a really good use to get out of the bipod. It basically makes it so you have no gun sway or anything whatsoever. But I went back to red dot sight. It's just what I prefer. And actually, I'm glad that I checked into this because I'm going to switch this back to the foregrip. You know, going along with a heavy barrel, a burst weapon, and foregrip, that is really the recipe for the most accurate gun you could get on this game, people. It really is, especially if you're switching to single shot and stuff like that. You know, foregrip will be more favorable for a very powerful gun like an LMG that really shoots upwards and it climbs when you shoot it. But, you know, even just to add that little bit of extra accuracy can really make a big deal of difference in close quarter combat. So that's just what I prefer to use. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this class. There we go. That's the scope I was using, the 4x scope. But we are going to... I want to check something out. What was it? Oh, the reflex red dot sight as opposed to the covert red dot sight. So that's what I run for my KH, for my weapon, for my medic class. The secondary is an M9 tactical pistol. Really no preference here for this class. I do use the tactical pistol just for the flashlight, being that, you know, you are going to be running with packs. That's what I do anyways, and for those close quarter engagements, it really helps out a great deal to kind of give you a little bit of an edge as far as taking them down, especially if you're going, you know, up against an enemy that has a machine gun while you're firing at them with a pistol. Trying to throw their aim off a little bit could make a great deal of difference. You know, you got the other weapons over here, the M320 grenade launchers and stuff like that, but I really prefer running the medic kit. You know, it really helps a great deal, and it really regenerates your health so much faster than having to rely solely on reviving with nothing whatsoever. You know, I guess the smoke wouldn't be too much of a bad idea here, because, you know, this is more of a support kind of class to help your team out, but I just prefer to run the medic kit. And then the defibrillators, the only thing for a Gadget 2 slot on this class, obviously, that is the, you know, the bread and butter of this class. Now, the specialization I prefer to use for this class is Squad Sprint. And the reason for this being, for one, now that I have it upgraded to Squad Sprint, it's you know, granted to my entire squad, as you can see in the description. So my entire squad is going to be able to sprint at a higher speed, and it's basically almost similar to lightweight on Call of Duty. There isn't no bullshit perks in this game like there is on COD, however. The reason I ran with Sprint initially is just to get to fallen teammates faster, to be able to reach them. You know, you really don't have a great deal of time to revive them once falling down, so any little extra oomph, I guess you could say, is definitely going to be helpful in getting to your teammates. That's going to wrap it up for Assault. Now we're going to the Engineer class. Now, I've switched off between different guns for this class. I loved the G36. It's the most accurate weapon I've came across up to this point, but I found in long-range battles it is not the gun you want to use. It's really more of a mid-range gun, as are most assault rifles, but, you know, I really had a hard time taking down people, you know, from medium to long ranges, and the SG553 really helped out a great deal with that. You can see here I'm running the foregrip to give me some increased accuracy like usual, and I believe I was running, what, the red dot sight? I do kind of switch back between the red dot and the holographic sight. The red dot's just not as cluttery and stuff like that on top of your gun, and for me, I've always been more of a red dot person in video games, regardless of what first-person shooter it is, but I do like to switch back and forth. I think the holographic sight gives you, you know, a little bit more accuracy, especially shooting down sight. Obviously, you know, it's whatever you're more comfortable using. And then we got the foregrip and the bipod for the secondary slot in this weapon. Foregrip's the only thing I got unlocked, and even if I had the bipod unlocked, I still would use the foregrip. You know, I really would say, if you're using a support class with a big gun, like we're going to be getting into next, then you could run a bipod and have it be very useful. But really, for the medic and the engineer class, I really don't see much use on it from any of the guns. See here, I got another tactical pistol, same reasons as before. You know, no big variation in the reasons why I use it. Yeah, I pretty much use, I think, the same pistol for the most part for each of my classes. Right here, the Raffica, the 93R. This gun is badass. It's pretty much similar to the Raffica on Modern Warfare 2 that you guys are familiar with. I love this gun. It is a great pistol to use, but I've been trying to switch it up a little bit. Keep it on the M1911. You can see right here you got your Schma, your Stinger, and your Javelin. It really depends what kind of situation I'm in. I find myself using Javelin mostly, But unless you have somebody using a SOFLAM on their Recon class, the Javelin can't lock onto air targets. That's where the Stinger comes in, and then you got the Small, which doesn't lock in on anything. I don't believe the SOFLAM really helps with that, but I'm pretty sure that, what is it? I don't know if the SOFLAM helps with that or not, but it's, you know, same exact thing as an RPG. You guys know the Small from Call of Duty and stuff like that. And then we got the repair tool, anti-tank mines, and EOD bot. I mostly run the anti-tank mines depending. I'll run the repair tool if we're on a map that vehicles give you a big advantage on, just to keep those vehicles pumping out rounds and stuff with the enemies. Anti-tank mines, I don't see any reason to use them when you're on the offensive for the most part. There's a couple of exceptions that I've run across, but I usually use these if I'm on the defensive side of rush. And then you got the EOD bot, which I haven't used too much. I've used it very little, maybe once or twice, to be honest with you. You know, I think it's nice to kind of sneak in there. If an enemy's got a stronghold on a bomb site or a flag, I think you can really use this to kind of sneak past them at times. But, you know, it is very vulnerable. Somebody gets a hold on it, it's not really going to do you much good. So I usually, kind of depending if I'm rushing or on the defensive side, kind of dictates which I use for my second gadget. Then I use the explosive specialization, especially because I'm going to be using anti-tank mines or javelins, any kind of rocket. It gives you a nice extra pack of punch. Jesus, I sound like I'm playing zombies. But you can see right there an EOD vest that increases the total amount of explosive and rocket ammunition. So you basically boost the number of anti-tank mines and rockets you have. So, you know, that's definitely never a bad thing. And I find, you know, with how much people are progressing in this game, it really helps a lot to have extra ammunitions, because they're finding so many countermeasures like flares, smoke for the tanks to really counter your rockets and stuff like that. So, you know, the more the merrier, as they say. Then we're going to be going on to the support class. This is definitely a favorite of mine. I am running the M249 saw, and I do not see that changing. I got the holographic sight. Right here is where I think the bipod comes in huge, especially if you lay prone or post this gun up on a ledge. You can lay down support fire for days, people. I mean, for days. You can just fucking unload on people. So the bipod's a great thing to use here. Same with the foregrip. What I was talking about before with the vertical muzzle climb and stuff like that. When you land that trigger, which you should shoot in burst, people. If you're using an LMG, shoot it in burst. But sometimes you get in those situations where you just start fucking unloading on people. The foregrip comes in hand, gives you a little bit more control over the gun and your accuracy. And right here, extended mag. Don't use tactical light, don't use laser sight. Suppressor, I don't really see much for use for that in the support class unless you're trying to be sneaky. And then you got flash suppress, which really wouldn't be too bad of an idea, but I just find the extended mags to be far more useful. Gives you extra amount of bullets in each magazine. There you go. And then you can see right here, another M9 tactical, same reasons as before. Ammo box for my first gadget. I believe that's the only thing you can run. Now right here, love the C4. I've been using the claymores. I use claymores like this, people. When I'm playing rush, if we're on a close quarter map like CN Crossing, I love using claymores to set up next to the bombs. Now I do use them on other maps. Say we're falling back to the last objectives and we're kind of on our last stand, I'll set up claymores around the bombs just to give us a little extra line of defense. But most of the time I run C4. You know, if you guys saw my C4 trap video, I'll C4 fucking booby trap the fuck out of everything. I love it. Love that shit. And then you got the mortars, which I only really use on CN Crossing. I don't use them on too many other maps. I mostly use them to take out other people that are using mortars because they're dumbasses and they're fucking horrible with them. I'm actually going to be doing my new Prevention 101 series on mortars. So, same thing, explosive specialization, especially with the C4 really helps a shitload to have, you know, more packs of C4. For me, you give me 100 packs of C4, I'll be running out of that bitch, so I'll take any extra that I can. Which brings us to our last class, our Recon class. I'm sure a lot of you guys are big snipers. Now my gun of choice, you can see I was just using the L96, but I gotta say, my gun of choice is the SVR, I believe it is. It's either the SVR or the SV98. It's the SVD. Alright, oh yeah, it is the SV98. Love this gun. You see I got the 12-time ballistic scope on it, bipod, don't use any secondaries. Don't really see a need to use a laser sight or tactical light, because all that's going to do is give away your position, which I think is just retarded. I love the SV98. I think the L95 or the L96 has more damage, but I don't know what it is. I prefer the sniper rifle. And really, guys, I'm just giving you my tips and stuff like that. Do whatever you are mostly comfortable with. For my sidearm, this is where I like using it. You know, I like using a really powerful pistol, the MP412. When I unlock the magnums and stuff like that, I'll be switching it over to those, but that's what I prefer. I've been screwing around with the MAV a little bit. I do like it. I think the MAV is great if it's used correctly, but you have so many people that really, I don't think, truly understand the benefit of having an MAV. So you see a lot of people just kind of flying them around, having fun. Now, I don't want to say having fun, because you're supposed to have fun with this game, but I don't think people really realize the true benefit of them. I think Soul Flam is absolutely amazing. You know, the motion sensors are nice to use, but I prefer the Soul Flam. You know, the motion sensors, since you're usually like staked out a little ways away from the battlefield, I don't really see much use for them. You always got to be aware of your surroundings, so you know, it's not a bad thing to use either. And then the spawn beacon, aka the radio beacon, and right here I got the ammo specialization upgraded, so my entire squad is granted extra ammo. Allows the player to carry a greater amount of primary and sidearm ammunition. So, those are the kits, people. These are my land vehicles, and I can see this is getting into a little bit of a lengthy video. These are my setups for the land vehicles. The MBT, you can see I'm running maintenance, IR smoke, and Kokyo LMG rounds. That's just really what I prefer right here. Looks like that's all I got upgraded. You know, I got the zoom optics here. You can have up to 3x magnification. I prefer the smoke to throw off people with javelins and stuff like that. And then we got maintenance, which preventative maintenance procedures improve your vehicle's recovery from damage. So basically, in short, you recover faster from damage. You know, the autoloader's really not a bad thing to use in this at all, especially for your cannon. You know, getting that little extra time between uploads to get an advantage over your enemy is definitely, you know, it can make a big deal. When it comes down to whoever gets that last shot off wins, this is what could win you that little fight. But, you know, I prefer maintenance, keeping it up. Then you got the IFVs. I don't have too much unlocked for this at the moment. You can see right here I have nothing unlocked, I believe, except for the smoke. So not a whole lot to say there. But guys, smoke's a great thing to use for any of these vehicles. And then right here I have the anti-air missile, the smoke, and I don't have anything unlocked for the first one. And this is the fun stuff, what I consider myself a professional at. Well, the aircraft vehicles, but here are the jets. This is what I prefer to you guys use. Stealth. Stealth is huge, absolutely huge, guys. It's so hard to keep up or follow a jet and kind of, you know, lock onto them. Not lock onto them, but just be able to get a good line of sight on them if they're using stealth, because they cannot be spotted for that long. You spot them, it goes down fairly quickly. So I highly recommend this to everybody, especially for those of you guys that may be more of a novice pilot, you know, because it really gives you a nice edge in making it more difficult for the opposing enemies to track you. The flares, very big thing. I'm actually going to be putting up a video on how to maneuver jets and helicopters to break people Jesus, I can't even talk right now. To break lock-ons when people are locking onto you with javelins or the heat-guided missiles and stuff like that. See, you got the extinguisher and stuff, but I have the flares unlocked. And then the heat seekers are great. I don't find them to be too powerful, and I just find the rocket pods to be better. Obviously, the heat seekers are way better for getting vehicles in the air. Rocket pods I find are way more effective for taking out vehicles on the ground. Then you have the attack helicopters. You have the pilot and the gunner. Right here, I'm running stealth, IR flares for the first two for both, and then heat seekers for the pilot weapon. Same reason goes as on the jets for stealth. It's a great thing. And you know, guys, unlocking stuff for your gunner and having two people on a helicopter with flares makes you it makes you so much more difficult to take down. So I highly recommend trying to get that as soon as possible. And right here, same thing for the scout helicopters, stealth, IR flares, and heat seekers. So, you know, let me know what you think about this video, guys. I apologize for it taking so long, and I appreciate everyone that stuck around. But let me know what you guys think. I will be bringing you more videos. If there's anything like this that you want to see in particular, definitely let me know. So until next time, people, it is your boy Svenny-D, and I will catch y'all later. Peace!